What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Welcome back to another morning after show. Sometimes you go to sleep after a bad loss like that and you kind of think about things and calm down in the morning. As I said last time, it made me angry in the morning and I'm angry again today, and I kind of just want the whole ship to be brought down, to be honest. And I'm really starting to lose the will with this team, with this manager. I mean, I really am, and I'm starting to question. Well, I'm not starting. I'm carrying on to question, but I really am of the belief that I think Jose does need to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against it right now. It is hard to argue against the way we're playing, the way we keep surrendering leads, the way he seems to be cracking a bit under pressure in his press conferences and stuff like that. He doesn't exude confidence and look like he's got everything under control. You know, the rumours of a split dressing room. There's definitely a split fan base, that's for sure, and ever growing in the opposite direction in Jose's favour. Look, we've said it time and again. Is this defence not good enough? No, it's not good enough, and it's not. And it should be doing a lot better. But the attacking players we have, I'm sorry, Ndombele, Lo Celso, Kane, Son, these players should be looking a lot better than they're looking right now, and that is all down to Mourinho. Our attacking structure, the way we build as a team, the way we attack. Like, it's all down to Mourinho. Of course it is. And it's all well and good when we are winning. And I do think Mourinho can still coach a team to win. But unfortunately, with these players, with what he's got at his disposal, it's not the right fit. And he's been tasked with getting us back to competing again. And he's been found wanting. And I think what he's very good at is taking a very good team and making them elite. But unfortunately, we dropped further maybe than even we had thought, and we need unfortunately we should have kept Pochettino in essence. We should have let him rebuild the team. We didn't, and we thought if we can get Mourinho, he could give the finishing touches to a team that was already good. But unfortunately, that team had gone. We weren't already good anymore. We needed another rebuild. That's what we kept saying before. And yeah, we thought maybe Mourinho could be the guy for to get us back there. But unfortunately, he's not a man to rebuild. He's not the guy to rebuild.
I think we underestimated it. I think that Jose underestimated it. I think Daniel Levy has underestimated the sheer size of the job that actually Mourinho had at his hands when taking the job. I think Jose, from the outside looking in, thought he was getting a much better squad than he actually has. And I think that, I think you're right. I think we need another project manager. We need another Pochettino right now. We need a sort of a Nagelsmann, a Ten Hag, so one of these managers to come in, start a project and see where we are in the next few years, because there's no quick fix to what we've got at the moment. I'm telling you, there's no quick fix.
Yeah, and that's what Mourinho was supposed to be, a quick fix. And it completely backfired. I think at this stage you've got to say that. I honestly believe if Pochettino was still in charge with these players, he would be getting more out of them. The way he played, I think. That defense would still be culpable and stuff like that. But the way Pochettino played with the way he triggered the players with the high press and the attacking football he played. I'm not saying we would win the league, but we'd definitely be a lot closer to top 4. We'd definitely probably be in the top 4.
But it's not just that. Mourinho had to come in and figure out for himself who he needed out, who he wanted in, who he wanted out, in terms of who are the poisonous atmospheres in the squad. He needed what, a year and a half to work that out. Pochettino knew that already. He knew this squad like the back of his hand, so why not let him have this rebuild? He knew exactly what needed to be done to this squad.
Exactly, he knew. Yeah, that's the truth. And I just think that I think Levy and I think we thought, or Levy, not us, I think Levy thought that this squad was a very good squad that had been regularly in the Champions League and been title challengers, and what all it needed was a bit of a ruthlessness and a bit of just that elite coaching, man management from Mourinho to take us to the extra step. But unfortunately, he didn't realise that we weren't there anymore. We'd actually dropped down to here now, and Mourinho isn't the manager to get you from here to the top 4 challenging again. That's not his remit.
He's not the manager that will get you from 5th to 1st or 4th to 1st. He's the manager that will get you from 2nd to 1st.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he would do if we were in that. You know, if if Mourinho took over in 2017, maybe he would have won us a league. That's different. He took over at a different moment, and he took over at a time where we were really struggling, and the squad was in a different place than it was.
If you were ever going to give Jose the job, you would have given it to him after our first season last year at White Hart Lane.
You're never going to do it then. But,
I know, but essentially that's the moment you do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or the year after that. But once you don't do it, once you're kind of, I know, look, we all backed it at the time, and it's very easy to say it in hindsight. But at the end of the day, it was the right manager at the wrong time, if that makes sense. Because I think I actually think he could have done a good job here if everything was in place for him, but nothing was in place for him at all. So it was a bad appointment, you got to say.
And even if you think about the way Jose plays, like, he does rely on a very strong defence. And yeah, might not be easy on the eye, right? But when you have elite attacking players, like we do with Kane and Son, and then you rely very strongly on your defence being faultless and coaching them to not make mistakes and being very solid defensive structure, that can be the difference when you're two elite teams. Because if one team is just going to think they're better than you, and then you can tactically outmaneuver them in a way that you sit back and then counter them with your elite attacking players, and your defenders won't make any mistake, that can easily work. It can still work in this modern game. But the way our squad is set up, with how poor our defenders are, and the way we're structured, it's just, unfortunately, it's not working, and it doesn't look like it is going to work, unfortunately, with Jose, and that's the saddest thing.
I do still think there's a good manager in there. I don't think it's obviously as good as he was. I definitely don't think that. The thing is, where he's really lacking, in my opinion, is his man management skills. I don't think he's moved with the times in terms of the modern era of the modern day footballer. I just don't think he has, and I think that the modern day footballer need to be a lot more sugar coated than kind of what they are now. And Jose is kind of still kind of old school in coming out and doing that kind of stuff that he does.
I think you're right mostly, but I also think there are still a few Mourinho kind of characters out there, like Kane, like Højbjerg. If you get those characters in the squad, if you've got a squad full of those,
a squad of them.
Exactly, I'm saying if you've got a squad full of those characters, or not even a squad full of them, if you have a squad majority of those characters, then but unfortunately, the majority of our squad aren't those kind of characters.
But at the end of the day, footballers, obviously human beings, right? There are all these different types of human beings, all with different characteristics. The manager needs to learn how to evolve with different characteristics. He can't just say, all right, you have the same mentality as me, I can only manage that sort of mentality. What sort of manager is that? You need to be able to manage all different types of mentalities, all different types of players, all different types of personalities. You can't just stick to one kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where are you going to get? I know, like,
it's got him
but not in the modern day. Not since the Man United job, the Tottenham job. I mean, the way he moves on further in management, he's not going to get anywhere.
I think he can still get him so far, but he can't sustain it. That's the thing. He can't sustain it for a long period of time, especially for the past 5 years. He can always get a tune out of players for a period of time, and then it always goes sour. And unfortunately for us, it went well for like 6 months, and then it turned sour, and as opposed to like a year, which is the most frustrating thing. And I think a lot of the modern players are coddled and stuff like that, and he's still not used to that, and he's still treating them like they're players back in like 2005, like when they're a lot hardened, and when players coming through the academy had to work a lot harder for their opportunities, whereas nowadays when you're in the academy, you're already earning like $5,000 a week when you're in the academy, and you pretty much made it.
I remember being outside the training ground once, and I saw like Keziah Sterling and these kind of players like drive in, and they were driving like, bloody hell, what fancy cars they were driving, like brand new Mercedes and stuff like that. And we're thinking,
what's Keziah Sterling ever done?
Yeah, and I'm thinking like Benoit Suakoto, he used to drive in his Mini or his, like, you know what I mean? And like these Keziah Sterlings, who's never kicked a professional football like in a normal game in his life, and he's driving in like these sugar-coated. It drove me a bit mad, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's the reality of what Mourinho is dealing with in this day and age. And I do think if he had, a set of defenders that he could get better, or that weren't, at the levels they are now, we would be in a higher position and we would be in the top 4. But he has to go with what he has, and what he has is a very talented set of attacking players, and not so much talented set our defenders. And the way he's got to deal with that is we have to have more time on the ball. We have to have more possession. We have to be more. We have to have a more possession-based approach because we have to spend less time defending. Unfortunately, the way I look, whether this is what he's telling the players or not, it's regardless because it's his responsibility to get the team out on the pitch in his vision. And the fact of the matter is we're spending way, and I mean like by times 100 more time defending, too much time defending as we are on the ball.
That stat I saw on Twitter yesterday, I don't know who it was from. I'm not sure if you can get it up or not. I really can't remember who it was from, but they said the most Tottenham are second or third in the league for most clearances in the league.
And that
this
shouldn't
season.
be the case.
And the teams that we're surrounded by are Sheffield United, Fulham, and Burnley, or some 3 teams like that. And we should. Why the hell are we being compared to these teams? Why is there a stat like that where we've made the most clearances? Why are we being put under so much pressure every single game?
That's the problem, and that is the problem. And whether, Mourinho can come out and say that's not his plan and whatnot, and it might not be, but it's up to him to coach the team. Here it is. Here's the stat you can see. Can we bring that up? Yeah, it's clear. This is before yesterday's game.
West Brom, sorry, not Burnley.
This is before yesterday's game. There was so Fulham are top, then Spurs, West Brom, Sheffield United, and then West Ham there in 15th, and then Burnley and Newcastle. So apart from West Ham, we're the rest of the teams are the ones near the bottom.
And at the end of the day, West Ham, they're massively overachieving. They should be somewhere like mid-table or below. Ultimately, you got to say that. We put them down favourites for the drop at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we did, and that was completely wrong. Moyes is doing a great job.
He's doing a great job, but he's massively overachieving. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't fill me. It's not a surprise that they're amongst those names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is a surprise that we are, and we should not be there. And to be put amongst those names just shows what a bad job Jose's doing, in my opinion.
And it's okay be maybe super defensive and be pragmatic against better teams like Man City and Liverpool and whatever, and even Man United yesterday. Yesterday wasn't the game where I decided, Mourinho's the worst. It was just it's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a culmination of things. It's how many times are we going to see the same thing? The same style of play, the same patterns of play, the same, being put under pressure every single game, no matter who it's against. I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest. And, I'm not just blaming Jose. I'm blaming a lot of people here. Mm-hmm. But at the ultimately, the manager needs to take a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can only sack a manager. You can't just sack a centre-back. So unfortunately, that's not how it works. And if we did have a more progressive manager, then we would be probably. I'm certain if it would be higher up in the table. It doesn't mean that Mourinho's approach to games or his tactics are completely wrong and he's finished in the one game. I think his tactics can lead to a lot of success. I really do, and I think even this season it's proved his tactics can lead to that success if we had the defenders. Just by the fact we've been leading the lead, so many leads, and we've given them up, shows to me that we have a team structure and enabling us to get into to win games, basically. But because of the way we've put so much pressure on our defence, in so many games, and the quality of our defence, it's meant it's not been good enough, and it's meant that it's continually failing us, and that is the problem. And look, Mourinho has to take a lot of responsibility for that. Wolf Mallow with the super chat says, lads, what's going on? It's 3 a.m. over here. I'm almost sad to see you two feeling so downtrodden as I do, watching the fortunes of our club. Big up to you, Wolf Mallow, as well.
Yeah, this is the morning after show, by the way. So if you don't know, if it's the first time you're watching, let me just tell you how this video is going to be structured. Because I usually do this right at the start of the video, but we just got straight into it. I think we both had a few things we needed to get off our chest straight away. But we are going to go through the papers, look at the headlines of the game yesterday. The back pages are all dominated by Spurs today. As you can see, there's a lot of things about Heung-min Son, which we'll get into. We're going to go through your tweets. We're going to go through your super chats, so do get them in if you want us to react to anything. We're going to go through Jose Mourinho's press conference. We're going to take a look at every word he said and react to it. And yeah, is there anything else we're going to go through? And just have a standard chat about the game. Yeah, I said tweets and super chats, but yeah. But so do get your tweets and super chats in, and we'll react to them. What shall we do? Shall we go through the press conference?
Let's read through some tweets because we've got some tweets flying in here. From Bob Spur, big up Bob Spur TV, he says, we all got caught up in the hype and thought just maybe Jose will bring our Spurs back. Unfortunately, he and some of our players are taking our Spurs away.
Yeah, completely agree.
Ebenezer says, in my opinion, this season is done. No matter the outcome of the Carabao Cup, we need an overhaul in the summer. No matter the manager in the summer, as there will be a bounce and same results we have now will come back with these same players. Agreed. Cody Mack in the tweets, he's got a thread going. He says, I thought I was disappointed, disillusioned and down after yesterday's result. Then I saw Son's interview. I no longer believe there is a path to success under Jose. A night's rest hasn't done anything from my perspective. Fans are disengaging, can't blame them. Even if we got rid of 10 players and replaced them, there would be a bedding-in period where results wouldn't reflect the investment, in brackets see Chelsea. Jose is a manager of old school men, which at 37 I can relate to, but today's players are boys. They do not respond this way. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth there. Do you want to talk about Son's interview? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it. Very
and
uncomfortable.
that was really
very
uncomfortable to watch.
I mean,
I've never seen him so
he couldn't
so
say
unhappy.
anything, could he? He literally couldn't say anything. All he could say was, "Oh, I'm very unhappy. We need to do better." Basically, that's all.
Yeah,
he was
but
saying.
like
over and over again.
It felt like he was stopping himself from saying
100%.
something. It felt like he was stopping
That's
himself
exactly
from saying
what
that,
I
like
said.
he wanted to say something.
That's exactly what I was saying at the time when I was watching it. I was like, you can say he really wants to get something off his chest, but he just can't.
He couldn't. Like every time he was about to say, I'm just upset. And I've never seen him that sad. And he was one of the ones as well who was very, very invested in Jose as well, especially at the beginning of the season where Jose had him like banging goal after goal and his clinical best. And it still has been one of his best seasons, if not his best season in the Spurs shirt. But the way he's looking now, he doesn't look like...
Did you see that little video clip of him walking off the pitch when Jose comes up to him?
Yeah, I don't.
Did you make anything out of that, or do you think there's nothing to make out of that?
I think people have just caught a moment and reading too much into it. I don't think there's anything into that because, I don't know, because that's
could be though.
I don't know because Jose went to say hi to Pogba. He wasn't there to. He didn't even go up
but he put his
Son.
arm around Son.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No, he went to tap Pogba on the shoulder.
I thought he did both. I thought he tapped Pogba on the shoulder and hugged Son.
No, that's not what I saw. Look, I might be wrong, but when I've looked at it a few times. It looked like he was just tapping Pogba on the shoulder. I think he saw Son before. And I could be wrong. I think it's just one of those moments where it looks like an awkward moment, but people just reading too much into it. I think that kind of moment. I don't think there was anything in that because Mourinho clearly went over to Pogba. It wasn't going over to Son. So Son looked like he's avoiding him. It looked like an awkward moment, but I don't think it was. I think it was just something people are reading too much into. But the Son interview said a lot more. That was very telling in terms of where he's at, where the squad is at. If Son is like being like that and depressed and not like smiling, how can he, the most super positive person I've ever seen, be so down? And if he's that down, then where are we going? I can't see where we're going right now. If you can't even get Son to smile. Son is like smiles whenever anything's happening.
I just really want everything to come out, man. I just want the players and everyone just to start saying it how it is, man. I hate this whole beating around the bush bollocks. Like, I just wish he would have said what's on his mind last night, Son. Like Hugo Lloris said what's on his mind at the end of the Zagreb game, like Kane in those interviews. I just want players to come out and just say it how it is. I know the club is probably blocking them from doing it, but I think should.
All clubs usually block their players.
But you know Tottenham especially.
Yeah, Tottenham especially. They're very political. Should we look at a few more tweets? Peter Palfram says, anyone seen Son ignoring Joe? Oh, that's what you're saying. And Pogba's hand, can't blame me, ruined team, Jose out. I don't know if we can we even show the clip? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
I've said this time and time again, we play so much better when Bergwijn is on the pitch. Yeah, he's also frozen out Bergwijn, which I think was unnecessary from what I saw. Look, maybe Bergwijn isn't trying, but Bergwijn was one of the ones that Mourinho relied on in these big games, and he was one of the ones who really was putting big efforts for the team.
His man management skills have been terrible this season. A few players have shone, but, you know, those comments I was talking about Wayne Rooney last week, I think it's telling, man. I really do, because, you know, these players on the periphery as well, what Hugo Lloris said, it just seems to all tie in together. All what Wayne Rooney was saying about the players on the periphery not having any communication with Jose Mourinho whatsoever. Hugo Lloris talking about the divisions in the camp with people that are playing and not playing. And play. You know what? I've been thinking the last couple of days, and I actually think Gareth Bale would have had a really good season for us if it wasn't for Jose Mourinho.
Maybe. It's hard to say. You could argue that, because especially the way he came into the team, he was, and in February at least, he looked sharp and he was playing well, and then one bad game and he's out of the team again, and that was the most frustrating thing. That was another frustration I have with Jose and the way he's managed the whole Gareth Bale situation. Look, do I blame him for leaving him out for large periods in the first half of the season? I think Bale himself kind of acknowledged that he wasn't at his fittest, so I find it hard to. But the way it's going now, when we've seen with our own eyes what Bale can do on the pitch, we've seen what he's still capable of, and then one bad game and he's ready to just say, oh well, this is what, you know, I'm done with Bale. Basically, he's not starting again. I'm like, that's just, why are you managing like that? That doesn't make any sense. Bale clearly showed what him, Kane and Son could all do together. Why are you throwing him away again?
Also with Gareth Bale, yes, he acknowledged that about the playing time and stuff, but he did play football in the first part of the season, albeit he wasn't very good. But if you give him consistent minutes, you know, not just 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, he'll get back to fitness quicker. And he showed when he did get back to fitness, he can provide with some real quality, maybe not against the top teams, but against these low block teams, against your Newcastles. If he would have played against Newcastle, who knows? We could have won that game.
We should have won that, yeah, for sure.
We've got a super chat here from Josh King. He says,
big up Josh King.
Do you think there is a chance that Levy just says a no? You have a contract and you will honour it when Kane asks to leave this summer?
Well, apparently Ornstein, they keep flip-flopping, don't they, the Athletic, but Ornstein, where is it? Today has been saying that...
Yeah, he basically said that under no circumstances will Harry Kane be going to an English club.
Yeah, I can't find the tweet, but that's what he said, yeah. So he, if that is the case, it's going to be very difficult for Kane to leave, because the foreign clubs, like, you know, as much as the Premier League has been hit hard, I think the foreign clubs have been hit hard, a lot harder than the English clubs. So at least we have the Premier League money, which is bigger than La Liga or Serie A or Liga money. So Premier League clubs are actually financially in a better position than a lot of the foreign teams are, and that is going to be a problem if Kane is only allowed to move abroad. Because the only club really is Man City that can really afford, or Man United, and if he's not going to sell domestically, it's going to be very difficult for him to leave.
But it will come to a breaking point at some point, because right now he's got 3 years left in his deal, Harry Kane. Mm-hmm. So this summer you're not in danger of it, but when it gets to 2 years, 1 year, you know, he's going to have the pick of his own. He'll have to be able to sell to England if no foreign clubs come in for him. He'll have to. Otherwise, he's going to risk losing him for free in 3 years' time.
Yeah, that's 3 years' time. It's too long to think about now.
Well, you've got to think of the future. You've got to think of your most prized asset, don't you? You've got to think about the future of the club, because you can bring in money that can buy us 2 top quality players.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, who knows what position we'll be in 2 3 years' time. That's what I'm saying.
Like, the way things are going.
Yeah, I know the way things are going now, but if he refuses to sell and then we have a good season, look, who knows? Like, things can change very, very quickly.
Yeah, I know that. That's
things
for
can
sure.
change very, very quickly in football.
But you need to be proactive if things are going to change very quickly.
You can't think, let's sell Kane now because 3 years down the line he's going to leave to an English club anyway on a free. That's not. You can't think like that. You can't think like that.
We can't what? Sorry.
You can't think you have to sell now to an English club because 3 years down the line he might move to an English club anyway.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he could easily wait another year and then go to an English club. He's saying no circumstances he'd go to English club this summer. I don't think that's the case for the next 2 summers. Obviously.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
Yeah, fine. That's true. That's true. I thought you were saying we should sell now because we're going to sell in the future anyway.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay, fine.
You know me. I stuck to the opinion when Modric got sold. Like, we sold him for cheaper to Real Madrid than we would have done for Chelsea the year before, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think. That's super chat here from Bob Spurs. Jose at Spurs equals Capello at England. Top show, guys. Capello at England. He was a good manager who completely flopped at England, wasn't he? Is Mourinho similar potentially? Who did Capello take over from McLaren? I guess it's similar. Yeah. I guess it is similar in a way because we had that golden era, didn't we, under Sven? Then we thought we were better than we are. Then McLaren came in and completely ruined like everything, and then we've brought in Capello to kind of which we thought was going to be to bridge that gap, but we weren't there anymore. I think a lot of the good players had aged. Bring in Conte and give him 150 million to spend, and we can win the league.
Conte is a brilliant manager.
Of course, Conte is a brilliant manager, but he's at Inter. Why would he come to Spurs?
Well, let him win the league this season, and maybe he'll want to leave. Didn't he get sacked for Chelsea the year after he won the league?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get sacked from Inter next year.
Look, Conte's great, but he's also do you think Conte's also known to be very, very strict and
but he's more in tune with the modern game, isn't he, Conte?
Maybe. I don't know. I think Conte is very Conte's a great manager.
Who's your number one choice?
Conte's a great manager. I think we need to just have a progressive manager who's going to get us playing again.
Nagelsmann?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what's going to take at this point. I think. Look, will Nagelsmann be a manager who fixes everything immediately? He won't be, but at least he'll be someone who we can build around, and he should get us playing a more attacking football again. And
What about Bielsa?
Bielsa, I don't want Bielsa. I don't know because I don't think he's right for this squad. Bielsa, I think he's a good manager.
But we want to rip this whole squad away anyway.
Yeah.
So is he good for a rebuild?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, he's good at overachieving for what you have. I think he's a good coach, but I just don't think he's going to be the one to get us back into competing at the top again. I don't think he's the one, in my opinion. As much as I think he's a good coach, Bielsa, but I wouldn't trust him with getting us to compete again.
R7M with the super chat saying, when can you see Jose getting sacked?
It'll be at the end of the season.
Do you think that's for sure?
Yeah.
The thing is, I kind of actually all season people have been asking me about Bielsa, and I've been saying no. But actually, the sound of it sounds a bit more appealing now. It really does. I think this team needs someone like that, just to say go and attack. You know what I mean? Just go and attack. If we can get some proper defenders in there with a Bielsa team, with a Bielsa as a manager, I think we could do well. I really believe that because we've got the attacking players to do that.
Yeah. Look, would we be doing better than we are now with Bielsa? Maybe.
Apparently, Bielsa works a team even harder than Poch.
That's the thing. These players, I don't look. These that's what annoys me about these players. Everything that happens, they just complain, and that's what annoys me. They complain they're being work too hard, and all these things. You have to just buy into your manager. Work enough. Yeah, that's what annoys me. And yeah, I can get that they're annoyed a lot by a lot of the stuff Mourinho says to them or whatever. But not buying into the coaching and not being fully behind the training methods and stuff like that. That's what annoys me a lot with a lot of these players.
Let's have a look at the some of the back pages. Let's start off with the Daily Mail, and it just says Cond. Oli accuses Son of cheating, and Jose blasts back. What did you make out of this whole Son thing? This is the back page, by the way.
I would have given him dinner. He was my son. But look, I've watched it again. I watched it again. It is a foul. I mean, look, here's my opinion. Here is my opinion. VAR should not have been looking at this. VAR should have stuck with the on-field decision. VAR this was not clear and obvious. It was definitely not clear and obvious, and VAR should not have sent the referee to the screen. That is my opinion. I thought if that was a goal against us and VAR sending the referee to the screen because of that, I would be furious. However, seeing as the VAR did send the referee to the screen, which was wrong, seeing as they did, he has to give the foul. Because I do think it was a foul. I think he puts his hand on Son's face for no reason.
He makes a meal of it, but that's not the point.
Exactly. It's not the point. And it is a foul. I think he does slap him. I think he actually catches him in the eye.
I don't understand. What is the difference between that And Lamella's sending off against Arsenal.
The only difference is maybe Lamella did it with a bit more McTominay did it with the hand. Maybe Lamella they're saying a bit more.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
It's very similar. Just Lamella had a bit more force about it.
Yeah, but you don't judge it on how much force is there. If you hit him in the face, you hit him in the face.
Yeah, I agree. Look, that's a foul. I don't
get this whole thing going on about Son at the moment.
I also think it got him in the eye.
And
I also think he got him in the eye.
And the Man United fans as well. Like, take a little bit closer because Bruno took a dirty dive yesterday, and Rashford took a dirty dive yesterday as well. I don't know if you remember them.
Rashford against Lo Celso.
Rashford got hit in the ankles, and he goes down clutching his face. And then Bruno Fernandes goes down from after tackling Lucas Moura.
Yeah, and the one against Højbjerg as well, and he accused Højbjerg of an elbow when there was nothing in it at all.
Yeah, there's that one. And then there was also Pogba elbowing Aurier as well.
Yeah, that was bad, by the way. That was pretty bad.
So no one says anything about that, but Son gets actually fouled, albeit he makes a big meal out of it and then gets completely called out and he gets abused online for it. It's ridiculous.
And look, if you look at this one as well, look at this one. Literally a few days before Bruno winning the penalty. Look at this one, Bruno. Look at that. That's what he gave the penalty for.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing in that. Look, it's literally...
That's less than Son.
That is less than Son. And no one complained about that. No one... Did he give Bruno dinner that night,
exactly.
Ollie? Like, it's absolute nonsense from Ollie. He's talking absolute garbage when he says Son conned and everything. Because Man United are the worst culprits in the league
100%.
The worst culprits
100%.
in the league. So Man United shouldn't be getting any food from Ollie this whole season if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking absolute crap and it annoys me. And I think Mourinho was right to call him out on that kind of stuff in the press, which we'll get into later. But that annoyed me from Ollie when the manager calling out other players when he has to look at his own squad for being the worst culprits in the league at that stuff.
Mate, how many soft penalties or anything have Man United got this season? How many?
It's countless.
Ridiculous.
Countless.
We've got a super chat here from Nero. Says, if Kane leaves, we need to bring down Levy and start protesting. Players like Kane only come through the academy once in a lifetime, especially for Tottenham. Well, it's hard to disagree with that, isn't it? But we got...
Depends how we invest the money, I guess. That's all I could say on that one.
Yeah, invest it in Dane Scarlett's...
development.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to go into next season with Scarlett and Parrot.
Yeah, basically.
I saw someone say, if we sell Kane, give Vinicius a chance. I'm like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
God, that's like selling Berbatov and bringing Fraser Campbell.
I hope Levy doesn't see that.
Yeah, I really hope not. That's what I'm worried about. Like, because I remember that summer, like, when we sold Keane and Berbatov, well, I guess we're already on the decline a bit, but, like, that really set us back that summer so many years. And I'm worried we're going to have, like, already there, but how much more setback are we going to get?
Yeah.
That's the worrying thing.
Let's see what the back page of the Star say. They say, dinner dong battle. Jose and Ollie's feud is chili con carnage.
Chili con carnage. Oh, these headlines are awful, man. A chili con carnage, for God. Who's
hearing about Son and his dinner. The funny thing is Son actually still lives with his parents.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, do you reckon Son's dad fed him that night? But yeah, I was what's it called Ollie. Yeah, Ollie's that overshadowed the game yesterday, I think, and I didn't need to. I think people were going over the top with the whole VAR thing. I understand the frustration.
Again, look, all the back pages about Heung-min Son, we got conned again.
Why? Why is that the headline?
It's ridiculous. Like,
it was a foul.
This thing happened 3 times. Man United tried to con the ref 3 times yesterday.
It was a foul. The referee shouldn't have. Look, I think VAR again is culpable because they shouldn't have. VAR should not have sent the referee to the screen, but it was a foul at the end of the day. So I don't know why everyone's going mad at Son. Son's not the guilty party here. I think VAR is the guilty party.
The mirror as well about Son.
The good, the dad, and the ugly.
You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Like, there was a game yesterday. Mm-hmm. Why are the back pages dominated by some stupid thing that didn't even affect the game pretty much? They won 3-1.
I don't know. They just...
Like, if the game finished 1-1 or 1-0 to us, like, all right, cool, like, talk about it a lot. But the game finished 3-1 to Man United.
Yeah, it's just annoying. Should we look at the press conference?
Yeah,
then?
let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's hear about Son's dinner yet again.
Let's look at the presser.
I can't hear.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our post-match press conference for our game against Manchester United. As always, please raise your hand and we'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We'll start with Gary Cottrell. Gary.
Thanks, Simon. Hello, Jose. Not the result you wanted, obviously. It's a team who are very good away from home at the moment. The records show that. But you can't fault the effort, I'm sure, and plenty of chances as well.
You said you played against the team, got a very good away record. You can't fault the effort of your team either, though.
I didn't listen to your question very well, but I tried to understand from Simon. Yeah, they have a fantastic records away. And why? Because they are a very good team. But is the kind of defeat where I'm not going home upset with my players. They gave what they can, and they gave it into difficult situations. When they scored the first goal and when they scored the second goal. Our best chances in the game were after they scored the first goal and they scored the second goal, which shows that mentally, emotionally, the team was strong, was committed, was obviously fighting to win the match. So I don't want to go very, very deep on my analyze. Just simply, as you say, if meant to a very good team that won. Give also my compliments to a team that lost, but full of players, full of professionals, that they gave everything they had to try to get, of course, a different result that, in my opinion, we would deserve.
Look, I understand what he's saying. I don't think he's right in terms of we deserved anything out of that game, especially in the second half performance. United were far better than us. I also disagree when he says it's a game where I don't blame anything on the players or something like that. Maybe he's just trying to protect them. But if you look at this image says so much. Let me try and get it up. Because this really, like, I saw it at the time, but this really told the story. This is the first goal. Yeah, this is the first goal. If you see this image, like Cavani's there, right, through on goal. Dyer's ahead of Fred. You've got 3 players ahead of Fred there. 3 players. Dyer, for God's sake, has his hand up when the guy's not offside. Why the hell you have your hand up when there's VAR in this day and age is ridiculous. But he does, for some reason. There's Cavani, right? And everyone's just hoping he misses. Luckily, he does miss.
Can you turn the mic volume up a bit?
Well, look, Cavani misses, but look, there's 3 players there with their hand up. 3 players with their hand up when the guy is about to tap in a rebound and the guy isn't offside. He's not offside and there's 3 players standing there with your hand up, like doing nothing. I would be furious at that. I am furious at that. But if I'm the manager, I wouldn't be saying this isn't a game where I'm not angry at my players. Look at this bollocks, man. That is, why are you standing there with your hand up when the guy isn't offside? How stupid are you?
And the ball, who gave the assist for Fred? Cavani, right?
No, it was Fred.
No, who the assist for Fred?
Yeah, no, sorry, Cavani had the shot, didn't he?
Yeah, so
Cavani has the shot here.
Dyer gets drawn in by Cavani when Fred is actually his man. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then Fred is just completely open in the back post. I mean, if Dyer stays there and the actual player that should be marking Cavani goes towards Cavani, I think it's Aurier that should be there. It would be all different.
Yeah, Aurier had Cavani, but Cavani, look, what I'll say about Cavani is his movement is as a striker, it's the best in Europe. And yeah, you can blame Aurier for losing his man, but Cavani is the best in Europe at his movement. That happens in games. That should not be happening under any stretch of anyone's imagination.
Maybe if it happened in Slav Sunday League team last week, then
that is amateur Sunday League bullcrap. Why are 3 defenders standing inside the penalty area with their hand up when a Man United player is there to tap in the ball when the guy ain't offside? That is so stupid, and it had me furious. And when I watched it back as well, and even when you watch it back in real time, it's even worse than these images. images.
Simon Cohen says, "Mind your blood pressure, Sim."
Oh, it does my head in. That I don't blame on Mourinho. This kind of.
But why
bollocks.
not though? Because it's his.
I'm sorry, Mourinho doesn't say, you know what, when a player's a shot, just stand in the box with your hand up. I don't think he does that.
He's supposed to be renowned as one of these biggest defensive coaches in the game.
Yeah, but I think this is defender's mentality. That's the problem in this kind of scenario when that kind of stuff happens. That's individual characteristics. If you're John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, Lucio, you know what? No way you standing there with your hand up in the 6-yard box and the guy in offside. There's no chance that happens. But when you're an individual player, when you see a player's run off you, but you wanna distance yourself from individual responsibility, then you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stand with my hand up because hopefully he's offside and I don't want to deal with this. Yeah. That is what they're doing, and that is bollocks.
No, you're absolutely spot on.
That's what annoyed me.
Spot on. But let's keep going with the press conference.
All right.
Jerry Cox.
Hi, Jose. You said on the TV interviews you thought.
Shall I restart it? Shall I click off it and go back on? No, I'm on the phone. Oh, is it the phone? It's fine now. It's fine now? Yeah, I've restarted it, sorry. 1 sec.
Jordan Hussein say they were just doing a socially distanced high five. What's wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I can't hear it, so I don't know if it's the right place. 1 sec.
They are a very good team. Upset with my players. And when they scored the second goal, that I don't want to go very, very deep on my analyze. Just simply give also my compliments to a team that lost, but full of players, full of professionals, that they gave everything they had to try to get, of course, a different result that, in my opinion, we would deserve.
Okay,
Jerry Cox.
Hi, Jose. You said on the TV interviews you thought Paul Pogba should have gone a red card for an elbow.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when I was asked by one of your colleagues to comment the goal, I told to comment the goal, let's be deeply honest and comment on everything. And to comment on everything was to start comment on that action that was also very, very doubtful. In this moment in football, the decision is not uniform. The decisions are very doubtful. You never know when this is a red card, this is not a red card, this is an offside, this is not an offside, this is a goal, this is not a goal. So I didn't come to my post-match questions and answers with that in mind. Was one of your colleagues that the first question that put to me was to speak about the disallowed goal, and was when I told before that happened.
Interesting.
I think he's spot on in terms of what's saying, like, why speak about that one moment? You need to speak about everything. And that's exactly what I was saying before. You know what I mean? There are so many things in that game that no one's speaking about, but there's something they like to pile on.
Yeah. And he's saying he's saying that you're speaking about the McTominay one where VAR made that decision, but you're not speaking about maybe Pogba could have been a red card when I've seen it back. It didn't look good from Pogba. And in another day, it kind of feels like how the referee feels. Another day, VAR says, take a look at this, and he's sent off in another game. Easily for that kind of action that Pogba did. Yeah, it was a bit innocuous, but he does elbow Aurier quite badly in the face. And another day, it could easily be a red card. Like, I can understand Mourinho's... No, I'm not saying he should have been sent off. I'm not saying that. And I don't think he's saying that, but he's saying it's probably frustrating that there's so many inconsistencies of VAR, and then you just focus on one thing, but you're not talking about other things. I can understand that.
Exactly.
But all right, let's keep going.
Paul Jiggins.
Hi, Jose. There's been a debate on the TV after the game where some of the pundits have said that Spurs have the there's a soft touch about Spurs that's been there since before you arrived. Do you agree with that? And are you now seeing that, having seen your team sort of throw away a number of leads?
The pundits, they can say what they want. Many times, of course, right, and sometimes wrong, but that's the nature of the job. I can't say what I think. You know that. You sometimes want to bring me to deep questions, to deep analysis, but then when I go, I realize that I cannot go. So this is a kind of debate for pundits, journalists to have. Is much more difficult for me to go into that. I would say that one thing is opinions, another thing is facts, and opinions can be discussed, but facts, they cannot be discussed. So if you go to certain numbers, to certain stats, you arrive into conclusions, facts, and then of course pundits, people with experience, with vision, with knowledge, they can have the opinions they want. Many times I would agree, other times I would disagree, but I don't want to go into that debate.
Okay, John Cross to finish.
In terms of Roy Keane, I obviously didn't really give an answer there in terms of what he said, but in terms of Roy Keane saying Spurs have been soft for 40 years and stuff like that, I think he's being disingenuous in terms of what Poch brought to us at his peak. We didn't have a soft underbelly under Poch. At his peak,
we did.
Well, we didn't win the league, but we did. We were not a soft team. We were not. We were very difficult to play against.
To shove, we were.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, we were.
Why?
When push come to shove, in the games that actually mattered, we always failed.
No, but we weren't a soft touch, is my point.
Yeah, we were, because if we weren't a soft touch, then we would have won stuff under Pochettino.
No, that's by the by. That's in the crucial game. So I'm saying, as a team, we were not a soft touch. We were very, very difficult to play against. When we had Wanyama and Dembele in the centre, we were strong. We were a strong team, and people struggled to deal with us a lot of the time.
We were strong at times. When push come to shove, we fell over for teams.
Not under peak Poch, we didn't.
I think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Semi-finals of cups, the final, albeit that was in his first season, Champions League final. I mean, it happened countless times.
Peak Pochettino.
And I'm talking about Champions Leagues against Juventus. Every time we went out in the group stages of the Champions League, Bayer Leverkusen, all that kind of stuff, Monaco. I mean, there were times in every season where we showed our soft underbelly. Ultimately, when it got to that final hurdle, when it got to the push, when push comes to shove, when it really mattered, we had a soft underbelly under Poch. Even I'm not saying it's kind of as soft as it is now, and he definitely toughened us up and he changed the mentality somewhat within the club. But when push comes to shove, we showed that soft underbelly.
Yeah, but when he had us consistently getting in Champions League positions, you can't do that if you're such a soft team. You have to be a somewhat of a strong team to get to that. Yeah,
like I just said, he did improve it in some way. He did improve it, but when push come to shove, when it really mattered in the big games, we always let ourselves down. Always. Yeah,
that's true. That is true. When it really mattered, we did.
So you got to say that I think Roy Keane is spot on. We have been a soft touch for 40 years. He's talking from a winner's mentality. He's talking about winning Premier Leagues, winning Champions League, winning cups over and over again. Since 1991, we've won one FA Cup. Mm-hmm. Of course we've had a soft underbelly for the last 40 years. He's completely right. He's spot on, in my opinion.
Wolf Mahler did not like Tanguy leaving the pitch, embracing Pogba. French connection aside, it's an example of the generation gap between Jose and the squad. I think... Look, I don't really have a problem with it, but I think in this day and age, it's kind of I feel like there's less rivalries on the pitch. Everyone's kind of friends, kind of thing. Friend to the national team, that kind of thing. Back in the day,
it happens all the time now.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be like when you're on the pitch, you're your enemies, and there used to be that professional rivalry.
I think there is when they're actually playing the game on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm saying like when on match days and stuff like that.
You saw Man United playing Man City this year. And after the game, all the players were hugging it out after the game. And Roy Keane was not having any of it.
Yeah,
at the
it's just a
time.
generational thing. I
But,
think
yeah.
players are more likely to just want to that extra competition like off the pitch is not as much as it used to be.
I'll tell you what, though, when we had Poch, you wouldn't have seen any of our players hugging any Chelsea player. I'll tell you that.
That's definitely true. That is definitely true. All right, let's finish this press conference then.
It's to finish.
Yeah.
I will not let them finish.
John.
Okay. Jose, can I just ask you what your view of the Son incident was? Did you think that was? Did you think the officials between them got that decision right? And then also just to follow up on that, just is the top four still within your grasp? There's still games to play, isn't there? There's still time left.
Look, first of all, let me tell you something. I'm very, very surprised that after the comments that Ole made on Sony, you don't ask me about it. Because, and I told Ole already this, because I met him just a few minutes ago. If it's me telling that player A, B, or C from another club, if it was my son, I wouldn't give him a dinner tonight or something like that. What would be the reaction of that level? Is very, very sad. And I think it's really sad that you don't ask me about it. It's really sad that you don't have the moral honesty to treat me the same way you treat others. In relation to that, I just want to say Sonny is very lucky that his father is a better person than Ole. Because I think a father, I am a father, I think a father, you have always to feed your kids, doesn't matter what they do. If you have to steal to feed your kids, you steal. I'm very, very disappointed. And because with me, like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese, I told already Ole what I think about his comments. And I have to tell you that I'm very, very disappointed that in 5, 6, 7 questions, you ignore the dimension of that comment.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, look,
When you go talking about bread and cheese.
I mean, I understand partly his point. I don't understand like why he's going on about Ollie's parenting. Like I don't like that. I don't like. He's lucky. I know he's trying to make a point, but I'm not sure what the point is. That what him saying that. But I understand what he's trying to say. Like
He's just trying to protect Son. That's what he's trying to do.
I understand what he's saying when he said, if I said these comments, it would be a different thing.
Yeah,
and
I think that's spot on.
I think that's completely spot on. And if he made those comments, Ollie would for sure be asked about it, like first question in the press conference kind of thing. And it is a bit sneaky. I don't know why it is that the journalist didn't ask Mourinho about Ollie's comments about one of his players saying that he should, because in essence, Ollie's saying, what I would do if I was the manager kind of thing of that player, and I would punish him, and that's kind of like why aren't they asking Mourinho about what Ollie said about one of his players? That's true, but what I don't know, this analogy, like if it was if my kid, you do everything to make him eat, and if he's going hungry, you have to steal, then you steal. Is that him just saying? What's that him saying that he's protecting Son? Is that what he's saying? Like I don't know. It's a weird analogy what he was trying to say. That got me a bit confused. Look, write in the comments what you thought Mourinho was saying with his comments about Ollie.
He's just trying to protect Son in the light of Ollie's comments, isn't he?
What do you mean deflecting blame? People saying deflecting blame. What's he deflecting blame from?
He's just trying to protect Son. That's what he's doing.
He's trying to protect Son. Yeah, I get that.
He's just going off on a tangent.
Yeah, but he's making.
Jose after games, he gets emotional, starts just talking out of his arse sometimes.
Yeah, and that was part of it. But I think Ollie definitely have to look closer to home for sure when he learned that for that kind of stuff.
Let's just go through the few last back pages. We've got the Mirror, the Good, the Dad, and the Ugly. Talking about Heung-min Son and Ollie, obviously, again. We've got the Daily Express saying, we got conned again. I mean, how... There was a football game played, and literally they're just talking about this decision over and over again. At least this... Oh, they did. The devil in Solskjaer outwits Mourinho to deal fiendish blow to Tottenham's top 4 hopes. Son is lucky his father is a better person than Oli. Solskjaer's side have risen from the nadir of the 6-1 defeat, blah, blah, blah. Cavani shines in fight back as Spurs' gloom deepens. Yeah, nothing really. Huh? Not really, no.
Interesting, apparently, report coming out of Sky
Just breaking news.
Deutschland. Apparently, Tottenham have already held concrete talks with Jerome Boateng. The centre-back is a free agent this summer with his Bayern Munich contract expiring. That is from Sky out in Germany. So Sky Germany reporting Tottenham have actually held concrete
want Jerome
talks
Boateng. The guy was
with
done years
Jerome
ago.
Boateng. Actually, he had improved. He was done, and then he came back. A bit like Thiago Silva. He
And
was
you
having
know
a
at
few,
Tottenham he'll be done. I don't want him.
But Thiago Silva hasn't Thiago Silva proved age is just a number?
Not really.
Why?
I don't know. He had a good start to the season, but
He's good. He's been good this season.
Has he?
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good start to the season, but has he been good all season? He's had a lot of injury problems. Nah, not for me, man. I just
no,
wanna...
but he's been captain. He's been a leader in that back line, even when he's not on the pitch.
He's been
had
a
a big
leader in
influence.
a failing side.
Not failing.
Yeah, he's hardly been in under Tuchel.
No, but he's been a leader for them.
What,
the
under
dressing room.
Lampard when in a failing side?
Yeah, but defensively he's been good.
I don't want him.
I think
want
Thiago
Jerome Boateng.
Silva's been good for Chelsea this season.
He's been good at the beginning of the season when Frank Lampard was there in a failing side. I don't... Like, if you offered me Thiago Silva, I'd still say no.
I wouldn't want Thiago Silva now, but...
Why not? He's been great this season. He's a leader.
You know what I mean?
Think
he's been good.
Why don't you want him then?
Because he's I would rather a younger centre back.
And do you want Jerome Boateng?
Not really.
So what is this then?
I don't want him, but what I would say is he could bring a bit of nous to the team. You never know.
Forget Jerome Boateng, man. Forget him. We need a younger centre-back. We need an up-and-coming centre-back. We need someone that is at the peak of his powers or just coming to the peak of his powers, not someone that's been over the hill for years.
Arjun THFC says, people say another manager can get the best out of these players. Even Poch can't get the best out of the manager. Improve players at a certain level. After that, it's on the players' quality and mentality. Managers need right players for their system. Jose needs his players for his system. Poch didn't get right players for his system and philosophy. You can't just buy any player and make them a star. That's why Sanchez, Aurier, Winks, Dyer, Davis not at the level of Toby, Yan, Dembele, Walker and Rose. That's I think there's a lot of good points there, Arjun. I think you make a lot of good points on that.
And look, a few people are mentioning at the moment saying the racist tweets towards Son. Obviously, we just need to come out and talk about it because it was absolutely disgusting yet again. And it's that old thing that we spoke about in the last morning after show, isn't it? I mean, how many times we're going to have to speak about this?
Yeah, look, it's another week, another day, another player who's been the victim of racist abuse, and it's absolutely disgusting. The thing is, though, what I think is a bit disingenuous is, yeah, we're getting all these headlines now about it, but it's not like this only just started happening. This has been happening since the start of social media. Only now people are taking notice of it and making headlines of it. If they were making headlines of it whenever it happened, they would be making headlines for years and years and years in advance. So only now is it starting to make mainstream headlines and people making statements and stuff. So let's not pretend it's only just started happening just now. And that's why I feel like, the way it's being portrayed now is that it's giving off this narrative that it's this new thing that, now players are getting racist abuse and now teams are calling out for it and stuff like that. This has been going on since the start of social media. This has been a constant problem and we've never sorted it out. Yeah, it's good it's being dealt with now and I'm happy about that.
Is it being dealt with though?
Not dealt with, I mean being noticed, being addressed. As before it wasn't. But this has been going on since the start of social media. This isn't a brand new phenomenon that's only affecting players now. It's always been affecting players. So it's disgusting, it's vile. And the big tech companies need to do something quickly, otherwise they risk their platforms. To be honest, because at the moment they're just becoming places people don't want to be if these things kind of carry on. Because what's the point if you're just going on there and just getting abused?
Just
that kind of
for breeding
racist
hate.
abuse.
That's all it is at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of the time it is, and it's hard. It's hard to justify these platforms, like what good they do when they're spreading that kind of stuff a lot of the time.
Completely agree. Is there anything else you want to bring up? Going for about an hour, but I just want to let everyone know, please do go and scroll down, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. If you do enjoy our content, it does help us a lot and really helps with the algorithms, helping us be seen and what have you. So do smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think all the tweets, no one's tweeting us at the moment, so I think that is that for now. But we have a lot of content coming up today, don't we?
Exactly. So coming your way today, straight after this will be the player ratings and then the 5 takeaways, and then we'll probably have a Tottenham update for you guys as well, with a bit of news coming over the weekend and today. So look out for all that today. Tomorrow we are back with some more live streams. We have got the Hot Spar where Simeon and John go head to head in their debating battle. We'll see what topics we can come up with you for tomorrow. And then obviously on Wednesday, the live stream, we have got some more Tottenham quizzes for you guys. So tune in for that. So a lot of content coming your way this week. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. We had a lot to get off our chest and we most definitely did that. Thank you for all your super chats, all your comments, and just coming and spending the morning with us. So yeah, like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our post-match press conference for our game against Manchester United. As always, please raise your hand and we'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We'll start with Gary Cottrell. Gary.
Thanks, Simon. Hello, Jose. Not the result you wanted, obviously. It's a team who are very good away from home at the moment. The records show that. But you can't fault the effort, I'm sure, and plenty of chances as well.
Just played against the team, got a very good away record. You can't fault the effort of your team either, though.
I didn't listen to your question very well, but I tried to understand from Simon. Yeah, they have a fantastic records away, and why? Because they are a very good team. But is the kind of defeat where I'm not going home upset with my players. They gave what they can, and they gave it into difficult situations. When they scored the first goal and when they scored the second goal, our best chances in the game were after they scored the first goal and they scored the second goal, which shows that mentally, emotionally, the team was strong, was committed, was obviously fighting to win the match. So I don't want to go very, very deep on my analyze. Just simply, as you say, if meant to a very good team that won. Give also my compliments to a team that lost, but full of players, full of professionals, that they gave everything they had to try to get, of course, a different result that, in my opinion, we would deserve.
Jerry Cox.
Hi, Jose. You said on the TV interviews you thought Paul Pogba should have gone a red card for an elbow.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when I was asked by one of your colleagues to comment the goal, I told to comment the goal, let's be deeply honest and comment on everything. And to comment on everything was to start comment on that action that was also very, very doubtful. In this moment in football, the decision is not uniform. The decisions are very doubtful. You never know when this is a red card, this is not a red card, this is an offside, this is not an offside, this is a goal, this is not a goal. So I didn't come to my post-match questions and answers with that in mind. Was one of your colleagues that the first question that put to me was to speak about the disallowed goal, and was when I told before that happened.
Paul Jiggins.
Hi, Jose. There's been a debate on the TV after the game where some of the pundits have said that Spurs there's a soft touch about Spurs that's been there since before you arrived. Do you agree with that? And are you now seeing that, having seen your team sort of throw away a number of leads?
You know, the pundits, they can say what they want. Many times, of course, right, and sometimes wrong, but that's the nature of the job. I can't say what I think. You know that. You sometimes want to bring me to deep questions, to deep analysis, but then when I go, I realize that I cannot go. So this is a kind of debate for pundits, journalists to have. Is much more difficult for me to go into that. I would say that one thing is opinions, another thing is facts, and opinions can be discussed, but facts, they cannot be discussed. So if you go to certain numbers, to certain stats, you arrive into conclusions, facts, and then of course pundits, people with experience, with vision, with knowledge, they can have the opinions they want. Many times I would agree, other times I would disagree, but I don't want to go into that debate.
Okay, John Cross to finish.
It's to finish.
Yeah.
I will not let them finish.
John.
Okay. Jose, can I just ask you what your view of the Son incident was? Did you think that was? Did you think the officials between them got that decision right? And then also just to follow up on that, just is the top four still within your grasp? There's still games to play, isn't there? Still time left.
Look, first of all, let me tell you something. I'm very surprised that after the comments that Ole made on Sonny, you don't ask me about it. Because, and I told Ole already this, because I met him just a few minutes ago. If it's me telling that player A, B, or C from another club, if it was my son, I wouldn't give him a dinner tonight or something like that. What would be the reaction of that level? Is very sad. And I think it's really sad that you don't ask me about it. It's really sad that you don't have the moral honesty to treat me the same way you treat others. In relation to that, I just want to say Sonny is very lucky that his father is a better person than Ole. Because I think a father, I am a father, I think a father, you have always to feed your kids, doesn't matter what they do. If you have to steal to feed your kids, you steal. I'm very disappointed. And because with me, like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese, I told already Ole what I think about his comments. And I have to tell you that I'm very disappointed that in 5, 6, 7 questions, you ignore the dimension of that comment.
Thank you, guys.